Good morning, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We're at 15880 Southwest Greensway here in Tigard, located just to the right of the front door. I describe everything as if you were standing in the street facing the front of the house in general. I'm going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water is running. We're going to zero the foot counter out at the base of the cleanout access. We've got some level of standing water as we drop into here, which we will take a look at on the way out. And the line transitions immediately upon access over to cast iron pipe. We're getting a bit of buildup right here immediately outside the house. We'll take a second look at that. That standing water at the start there may have been completely because of debris sitting in the line, damming the pipe up. There we go. Now we're starting to pick up some flow a little bit. You've got some debris hanging out back there that's kind of holding on to stuff. You have a tie-in right here. A lot of these houses in this part of town, in this particular neighborhood especially, tons and tons of these are shared sewer lines. You'd realistically probably have to contact the HOA to verify that. Most of the places here, like in the Summerfield area, if they're shared, typically it happens under the floors of the home. But there are portions of these neighborhoods where you have exterior tie-ins, where you've got branches for each house, but they interconnect on the outside of the homes. So the other thing that could be, just given the era that this house is a storm system connection. So I'll try and locate that on the way out and see if it's right next to a downspout. So in cast iron, if you're newer to older homes, older pipe materials, now so far the cast iron's in reasonable shape for its age, and we're swapping over to concrete pipe now. That would appear to be 4-inch concrete as far as I can tell. Anyway, that rougher texture that cast iron naturally has is not terribly forgiving to abusive items. Not that you're going to put that down the line, but just so you're aware of it. Wipes, that goes for flushable wipes as well. Paper towels, obviously, stuff like that. You really, really want to avoid going down these older lines like this. They snag up very easily, and if you are putting stuff like that down there on a consistent basis, it builds up easily and can, when you get a blockage in cast iron, it blocks really, really effectively when you're, especially improper items that don't disintegrate properly. Anyway. We've hit the main here at about 80 feet out. We're going to go locate, verify where things are going, then we'll pull back in once the pipe's drained. Alrighty, located the camera head successfully. The line terminates out on Southwest Greensway. So as the line makes its way out of the street, kind of runs up the right side of the garage. It then veers under the driveway, and it runs up the middle of the right side panel of the driveway. So offset to the right side of the driveway is where the line straightens out and shoots off into the road. And we still got a little bit of water trickling through. I'm going to start reeling back in here. There was some toilet paper behind the camera at one point there that might let a little bit of water break loose here and there, but the line should be completely done draining here shortly. And this is all flowing water. None of that's standing. The only spot in the line where we may have really any standing water at all is the very beginning of the line, but there was enough toilet paper there that could have been the cause behind it. So concrete pipe drains off very nicely, clean as it can be. All the stringy stuff we're going past right now are just cobwebs, and my camera is currently upside down in case you're wondering why the water's on the top of the screen. We're getting close back into here where that tie-in came into the pipe. So all these kind of notate where I'm locating it, but in this area in here, it's not uncommon or strange, being that these are attached homes, to have shared sewer lines. It's very, very common and normal. But it may very well just be a storm system connection. So if I don't see a downspout dropping into the ground kind of in the near vicinity, you know, probably a safe assumption it's likely another pipe, a sewer tying in. But when I sit there and eyeball that, you know, that diameter, that is actually very small. It was hard to tell that with the water running. That's not even a full diameter connection there. So being that that is the case, it's unlikely that is related to another sewer line tying in. Otherwise, it would be a full diameter. That tie-in would go from top of the pipe all the way to the bottom of the flow line. That's a small diameter connection there. All right, I think I figured it out here, and it makes complete sense. When you walk up where that's at, we're right up against the side of the garage, about mid-span up the right side of the garage. The washing machine is in the garage. That's a tie-in there for the washer. This joint here shifted just slightly. There's no signs it's open to the ground. It's just barely juxtaposed. And these joints are fern code. Cast iron joints are very strong, typically. If that were opened up to the ground there, it'd be obvious. We'd have dirt clods sticking through it, earthworms crawling in and out of it, all kinds of good stuff like that. But that tie-in there is the proper diameter for a drain line coming off of a washer, and that washer is just on the other side of the wall, very, very close to where I just located there. All right, we're now back to the beginning of the cast, and you know what? It looks like what we've got here, in reality, this was hard to see because of the toilet paper at first. The line does change diameter here. It bells out. So we're going from 3-inch to what appears to be 4-inch cast iron, which means the concrete out there is 6-inch, possibly 5-inch. They did make some oddity sizes. So you have a diameter change at each junction there. And that standing water, as you notice, was gone. So that toilet paper was damming the pipe up. So it's another thing you want to keep up on. Most adults don't have this problem. Fold your toilet paper. You want to avoid balled up toilet paper going down cast iron. It'll clog up plastic pipe. Cast iron with that rougher texture, again, it's just not as forgiving. So those are just some pointers to make sure that nothing hangs up on the line. But a clean sewer line, good flow end to end. All the pipe is intact and either in good condition, i.e. the ABS plastic, and or in good condition for its age, and that I'm referring to as the cast iron and the concrete pipe. It's older material, but it is still functioning quite nicely. Sewer line is functioning properly at this time.